everyone, and welcome to the Learning Ladder. I'm doing another prepping for homeschool video. I thought I'd show you what I'm doing this week. So first things first, I have just made these new little multiplication printables. So it's tracing basically, and then there's one where you actually write them on, just for us to practice and also for us to do throughout the summer. Let me know if you want me to put these on Teachers Pay Teachers as a freebie or something, if you want them, but that's what I've just been doing. So I've just made all of those and printed them off. That's what I'm working on. It's Amazon Prime Day, so I've done a little bit of shopping. So I'll show you the couple of bits that I bought in a minute, because, well, in a minute in terms of in the video, but it'll be, you know, several hours later in terms of the actual time, because some of them are coming today. So basically today it's Osmo, so I bought two new things for the Osmo. I bought the creative drawing starter kit, and then I also bought the coding family pack. So you got 3 coding games in that one, and then this one is the creative starter kit, which is the art one where you draw things that comes to life. I thought she'd really like that. There's another one that I want, but it's not on Prime today. I want the maths multiplication one, but it's not on Prime. The addition and subtraction one is, but the multiplication one isn't. When I say it's not on Prime, I mean Prime Day. It's got no discount, so I'm going to wait till tomorrow and see if that has any kind of discount applied to it, because I want to get the multiplication one. I thought that'd be really useful to do over the summer. I thought she really enjoyed that. So that's what I've been doing in terms of homeschool. It is the evening now, so I'm not going to be doing too much now before bath, so I'll pick you up again tomorrow. But in terms of what else I'm going to do on my computer for right now, so I've finished those multiplication things. That was what I needed to do for homeschool. But I'm actually working on my new book. So I've started writing a new book, and I'm also still editing the previous one that I wrote for National Novel Writing Month. So I've just been doing a little bit of writing. I'm just going to finish, well, I don't think I'll finish the chapter of where I'm up to, but I'm going to finish as much as I can before bath time of my new book. So that's exciting. I've also, like I say, I've got 2 more rounds of edits on my book that I wrote from National Novel Writing Month in November. I stopped editing it whilst I was doing all the homeschool stuff, making the new products and everything. So that's why it's taken, you know, it's June, almost July. So it's taken me so long to finish editing it. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't decided. I will wait till I finish all the edits and then decide whether I want to try and submit it to a few places or whether I just want to self-publish it. I don't know. It's my first fantasy that it's not my first fantasy that I've ever written. I've written fantasies before, but I've never actually done anything with them. So it's kind of, I don't know, like half of me thinks I should just self-publish it and not even try to go through the whole process of submission, and then the other part of me thinks, well, if you don't try, it'll never happen. So I don't know. But I've also got a 3rd book that I wrote, well, I need to finish it. I started writing it about 2 years ago, but I need to finish it. But that is perfect for self-publishing because I've got the cover, which I already made. It's perfect for Kindle. It's romance. It's like, you know, it's the perfect genre for Kindle Unlimited. So I'll definitely self-publish that one. So it could end up that I self-publish 3 books this year. I mean, who knows? But hopefully, potentially I might try and submit. It's just whether or not I feel like I can put on my big girl pants and try, which I'm not sure if I can. You know, I've never done it really. I think with my first book, I think I sent it to 2 people, and then I was like, oh no, I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to self-publish, because someone else I knew at the time was self-publishing, and it looked so much easier and fun, and you had all the control over cover and everything else. So I don't know, it's hard. I'll decide anyway. But I'm working on that. I'm going to finish this. Then tomorrow, we've got homeschools tomorrow. And then in the evening, I'll pick up with you and show you some things that have arrived from Amazon. And then talk about what I'm doing for homeschool prep tomorrow. But I'm going to show you my war wound. Yesterday, I was going to answer the door and I slipped on a book. I mean, how is that even possible? But, you know, it's one of those slippery cover paperback. Slipped on a book and fell on my bum and then banged my back onto the bookshelf. So books definitely injured me. So giant bruise from falling and banging my back on the bookcase. Back to work now. So speak to you soon. So from Amazon Prime, the first thing I got was the coding family bundle. So you just get the blocks here in this little plastic case, but they're really sturdy. I love these cases that they come in. It's got the 3 different sets in, and it's those 3 games that are in it. So the coding jam is the music one, and then the other 2 are coding activities and games. They're really fun. And the next one I got was the Creative Starter Kit. So it's got this little pad with it, it's got all the markers, and it does have the base as well. I don't need the base because we already have the base, but it's always handy, I guess, to have a spare in case anything ever happens to the other one. You couldn't buy it separately, it came as the whole thing, and it was part of the Prime Day as well, so I decided to get this one. This is really fun because you can draw, and then it comes to life, what you've drawn, so I know she's going to really enjoy this one. Just had to get a new kettle, and we decided to get a water filter kettle. And oh my goodness, the difference in the taste of the water is just amazing. I never thought for one second it would be this different. It kind of horrifies me to think that we haven't had one for all these years because there's no comparison. It's really fun actually to watch as well. Yeah. It lights up and everything. I'll show you in a second. It's fun. Especially because it's glass so you can actually see what it's doing. Entertaining or not, but there we go. Okay. You can see all the bubbles already. Super fast boil. Oh my goodness. There we go. How quick was that? Less than 2 minutes. It tastes so different though, it's amazing. I just got the Fire 8 as well from the Amazon Prime sale. My husband's tablet broke and he didn't want one of these. He wanted my one because he said my one was better, so I got the Fire HD 8 instead, and then he's going to have my other tablet. Got Scrabble on Amazon Prime Day, and then this mat, which is something you put near your cat litter tray, and it's supposed to stop all the cat litter going all over your carpet, so we'll see if that works. But yes, so that's everything I got from Amazon Prime Day. We're at the zoo on our field trip.
There's another.
Oh, are there any baby ones?
No, I don't see any.
Any calves? Oh, there's one. Up there, that one looks a baby. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
The rhino.
Rhino.
He's having his lunch, isn't he?
Probably dinner or breakfast.
You like rhinos, don't you?
We're on the boot.
That butterfly's so still.
So cool. Okay, so we're back from our field trip. We went to the zoo. We had a great time. It was so fun. They've got this little boat trip around now that they didn't used to have, so it was a really fun time. And we saw quite a few different animals. The back cave wasn't open, which was sad. We wanted to see that, but hopefully they'll open that one in the summer. We went to the butterfly house, which was so fun. They were just flying everywhere. They were really wanting to get close to you, which was amazing. There's so many different types. And then you also have the caterpillar and the cocoon section, and some of the cocoons that butterflies make are just absolutely astounding. They're just so amazing. Such amazing creatures. We saw a lion, lionesses and lion. We saw elephants, camels, what else did we see? Rhinos, tons of ducks. It was raining, so the ducks were all out. I saw the giraffes from a distance, but we didn't get too close to those. We'll see those next time. We didn't do the aquarium part this time. It was pouring with rain. It was getting a bit late. We've been in there for ages because with all the social distancing, you have to queue for all the indoor stuff, so it takes a long time. We had to queue for the boat ride, which took a long time. So by the time you've done all that, it gets a bit late, so we had to go. But we got ice cream on the way home, so we had a great time. So that's what we did for our field trip today. I have got my planner. So if you remember my last video, I said that I was probably going to end up getting a notebook. So my daughter picked this one for me. I couldn't decide. There was this one and dogs, and she saw the cat one and she had to get it for Shadow, our kitten. So I got this project book, and what I'm going to do is start setting it up because I want to start some planning and setting goals and everything for the new school year. So I'll take you along with that, what I'm going to put in there. And the first thing I'm going to start planning is dining on science. So I'm not quite finished printing everything off, so I need to finish printing, and then I can start planning. So, you know, what units are we going to do when and everything else. I was quite not annoyed because, you know, these things happen, but Netflix have taken off Magic School Bus, the original series, from us anyway. I don't know if it's been taken off from other countries, but from the UK it has. But I ordered, I don't know why, I just thought with us doing this for a whole year, I should have a backup plan just in case. We weren't planning on cancelling Netflix or anything, but you never know. So I'd already ordered the box set of the series, so I'm just waiting for that to come in the post. So I'm so glad now because at least we've got that. So I've got the whole series on DVD. We already had season 1 anyway, but now we've got season 1 through 4 on DVD. So that was very good timing that I managed to get that, considering that Netflix took it off. I have no idea why they did that. I'm so sad. I just don't get why the new series is still there, but I just don't understand why they took it off, because as far as I know, it's very popular. Anyway, so at least I've got the DVDs, so we're fine. But anyway, I want to sort out Daniel and Science, so how I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to do sort of a mixture of 1 week, several weeks do a biology section, then maybe a chemistry, or whether I just want to alternate, so one time, because I'm going to do it in 2 weeks increments, I think. So 1 2-week period biology, second 2-week period chemistry or physics, and then switch it around. I haven't decided. I want to go through it all, because the way I'm going to do it is, for the first week it's going to be the starter and the main course, and then for the following week it'll be the dessert and a buffet activity. Because a lot of the buffet activity I purposely made writing, language arts assignments that are science themed, but we can include for writing for language arts. That's why I want to split it into 2. So that second week then we can concentrate on doing our language arts writing science project, and in the first week we'll have done the experiment and, you know, all the reading and all the books and everything else around it. So I want to plan that out, start thinking about how I want to set that out and lay it all out, and that's what I think I'm going to do next. So I'll pick up with you soon. I'm going to print off, I don't know if I want to make my own calendar or just print off the calendar. I think I might actually make my own calendar, so I'm going to start doing that, and I'll show you it when I've finished. Only because then I can actually put the weeks how I want them to be, and then I'll glue it into my new planner. I'm going to put things like the field trips in here. I'm going to put not an attendance, but a week 1 to, you know, the end of the school year, and then just tick off that, not for attendance keeping, but just so I know where we're at. I'm also going to do a log for maths. That's the only thing I'm going to do a log for. I don't think I'll bother doing a log for anything else, because it's a week 1 to 36, or, you know, longer. All of them are curriculum. It's just maths that's lessons, so I think that's the only one I want to track. We are on lesson, we've just finished, I've just finished the reading for lesson 11 in books of our 20, so we're halfway through that one. That's what we were going to do before the end of the year. We have, I think I counted the other day, 20 something lessons left in maths, and then we'll be done, which I'm super excited about. But in terms of the maths, because I think I said a couple of videos back that I'd was getting a few different options in for us to look through and try out, just in case Saxon 5-4 wasn't something that we wanted to use, because as I've mentioned before, the K to 3 is different than the 5-4 and onwards. To me, it's like a part 1 and part 2 scenario, because they're very different. And I wasn't sure how she was going to react to it, because it's there are a lot more questions, it's written differently, it's written to the child rather than the teacher teaching the lesson and everything else, and I was worried about the time, you know, whether it would be too overwhelming in terms of the time it would take to do it all. And I've gone through different, you know, thought processes of, well, odds versus even questions. That's a lot a lot of people seem to do, and not every single question in there, because some of them are quite repetitive. So I was just going through all different scenarios of how, you know, what we would do in this scenario, and whether we would use it and everything else. And I got in I got in Matthew C and learning language. I keep saying learning language arts through literature. It's not that one. It's from Master Books, Math for Living Education. There we go. So we tried them all, and she really liked them all. So I've got lots of options now. So if Saxon 5-4 turns out to be a no-go, then we can definitely have one of the other curriculums. Will be absolutely fine, because she likes them all. So I've got lots of choices now. It's funny, because I was saying in that video that we'd never really tried anything else, because we've always used Saxon, and it was interesting and fun to try all these different, you know, look at all these different curriculums and see if any of them would be a good fit for us. And now we've tried them, they all are. So yeah, any of them will work, so that's good in a way. But I'm going to start off with Saxon anyway and see how we do. The other thing is, the Good and the Beautiful are releasing their new maths in August, so I want to check out that as well before I make a final decision of what we're going to do. If you ask me today, I'll probably say that we'll start with Saxon, unless the Good and the Beautiful, when it releases in August, is absolutely tremendous and I can't live without it scenario. Then we'll probably start with that. But I'm guessing, as of now, as of today, then we'll be starting with Saxon, see how that goes, and then go from there. But I was also thinking, in the past I've thought about how long 5-4 is going to take and how much more work it is. But when I actually thought about it logically and broke it down from the morning meeting that you do with Saxon K3 to the actual teaching of the lesson before you even get to the worksheet, that's all quite a considerable amount of work and time. And whereas with Saxon 5-4 and thereafter, it's all laid out on the page. So you do your little warm-up as part of the work, as part of the time allocated to it, as opposed to an addition. So when I thought about it that way, actually it's not that much more work, but it is in terms of questions, in quantity of questions, if you were to count them. But in terms of time, it isn't really. So we'll see. And you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just try it now? But I want to wait until we start the new school year, because, you know, we want to get our Saxon 3rd done. And to me, it was fine to wait till September. And also, I just wanted to see all these different options, because, as I said, we've always been with Saxon K3. It was nice to evaluate other options that are out there and see if there's something else that you know, we would prefer. But as I said, they're all great. She likes them all. I like them all. I would be happy with any of them. The only reason I think we will eventually end up starting with Saxon is because it's what we've used before, and I do think it's very thorough, and she, you know, she's progressing really well with it. So that's a maths update. Anyway, let's get back to making a calendar. I think. Speak to you soon. See a little Costco haul. So we got some avocados. I got these sleep shorts. They are so soft, super comfy. I wasn't sure what size to get. I think I should have got small, but hopefully medium won't be too big. They are elasticated, and I don't like too tight sleeping clothes, so I think that'll be fine. This Wonders of Learning Electricity and Magnetism kit. So you get this electric circuit experiment kit in there, sticker book, wall chart, and a reference book. I thought that was so fun. I got these cupcakes as a treat. We never get these, but they look really yummy. And then I got the Welcome to the Museum set, and I love the fact you get all these art pictures with it too. Pack of Baby Bells, a seedless watermelon, and then we thought we get these for a treat for summer. These Italian fruit ice lollies. So that's our Costco little mini haul. Here haul, I'll show you when it's all set up and explain what we got. But it's basically a chair, a little shelving unit, some storage boxes, and a mat for the door. Okay, so it's another day. Well, it's actually Saturday. We're home now, but we went to the library, returned the books. We renewed 2 of our books, and then we got out 18 new ones. We went to Costco, and I've already showed you the little haul that we did in Costco. And then we went to IKEA, and we have got a desk chair. So for my daughter, a new desk chair, because this one, the back is broken. The screw keeps falling off, and the wheel is completely broken. So we needed a new chair. We've had it for years, though. We've had it at least before she was born. So 9 years. This chair has definitely served its purpose. So she got a nice new little chair. They actually had a little sale on in IKEA, so that was £10 off, so that was good. But it's funny, when you go in IKEA and you take the product code and you go down to the warehouse, usually you put it into the computer and it tells you which aisle and where it was located to pick up the chair, because it's you have to assemble it. And I kept putting the code in, and I'd actually copied and pasted it from the website, so I knew it was right, and it said definitely it was in store in my location. So I put it in, and the computer wasn't recognising it 3 times. So I thought, I must have accidentally somehow or another copy and pasted the wrong code. So I went onto the website while I was in the store, and again it was the exact same code. So I'm thinking, what on earth? So I went to the desk, and the woman said, oh yeah, there's been some kind of computer glitch where the system isn't recognising certain codes, particularly for sale items, because it recognised the code for the full price chair but not for the sale. Anyway, finally found it, but that took ages to figure out where this chair was. But I also got a little shelf, and I'll show you them once they're assembled. They've just got to be assembled. But what I'm planning on doing with that is storing our morning basket books, which to me, morning basket is all day basket, because sometimes you read most of them at night time, sometimes you'll read them at lunch. So basically, it's not, when I say morning basket, I don't mean that we do it in the morning. It could be that we do it in between subjects. There's a little brain break. It could be that we do it at lunchtime. It could be that we do it reading at bedtime. So bear that in mind when I say morning basket. It could be bedtime basket. It could be all day basket. So basically what I was doing before was storing them in a wicker basket, but it's completely ruined. I think Quinn chewed it, Shadows attacked it, so it's completely knackered. So I thought to get this little shelf. So it's one of those trolleys from IKEA, but not the smaller ones that you can use for art carts and things. It's slightly bigger. So I'm going to store, and I've got some containers which I showed you. So I'm going to store some of the books in there and then rest them onto the shelf. And then there are 3 shelves. So one of them I'm going to put our games for the day. So with Beowulf Grammar and Beowulf Language Arts, there are lots of little spelling games and little bits and bobs. So I can put those on there, and then on the bottom shelf I can put any other games we're doing that day, so logic games or math games or something like that. And I'm planning to put it over here in this corner because we are short on space in our house. Our house had no built-in storage at all, so all the storage is through shelving, cupboards that we've all had to put in, which takes away floor space. It's funny when you buy a house or rent a house or whatever, you don't realise at the time how much certain things, how much you value certain things. The house we were in previously to this had much more built-in storage, and it makes so much difference. So when we actually come to move, I have this huge gigantic wish list of things that I would never have even thought to think about when looking for homes. So things like what type of water they have there. I mean, who knew that you need to think about that? But you do, because with certain types of water it can damage your appliances, which has happened, and it's also tastes disgusting as well. So what type of water they have, whether or not there's built-in storage, whether they have any pests in the area. I mean, I hadn't thought for 1 second that we needed to check for stuff like that, but there is a huge pest problem with the furries here. I don't know whether it's because there used to be a landfill nearby and they stopped using that as landfill, either because they closed the landfill and then all the pests left the landfill looking for food and have decided to verge on this particular area. I don't know, or it could be because they changed garbage collection a couple of years ago where it's every fortnight now, not weekly, and there are a lot of large families in the area and people don't recycle as much as they should, and that feeds the little critters. But we cannot get rid of this situation where they don't come in our living area, which is something I'm extremely grateful for, but we've had them in the loft, not constantly, just periodically. So it tends to be 3 times a year or something. So once they have their breeding season, that they come. But for the longest time, we could never figure out how they were getting into our house. We had so many different pest control people out, all kinds of. We had Rent-A-Kill, we had the local council, we had a private one, and no one could find out how they were getting in. We had the water company come and do a survey of the drains to see if they were coming through the drains, and nobody could solve this issue of how they were getting into our property. Anyway, we eventually discovered after years that it was actually from next door. So what they are doing is tunneling down into next door's foundations and then coming through the walls, and that's how they were getting into the loft, which is just horrifying. Just before I forget as well, we were in the library, and it just made me feel really sad. There was a little boy there, I'd say about 6ish, 5.5, 6, maybe, maybe almost 7, but no older than that. And he picked a Harry McClary book. It's a picture book, but it's a rhyming text. I think they're fantastic books. The words are actually really rich. The vocabulary is really rich. And he was like, "Oh, I'm so excited! Look, I found the Harry McClary book." And his dad turned around and said to him, "You can't have that. That's a baby book." And he was like, "Oh, but I really like Harry McClary." He's like, "No, go and find another book. That's a baby book." And his little face just dropped to the floor, and I just felt so bad, and I really wanted to say something, but I mean, what can you do? It's not your place, is it? But something along the lines of, "Oh, my 8-year-old loves those books. They're fantastic." Just maybe the dad didn't realize that they are actually really good books. But also because there's no age limit on books as far as I'm concerned. If a kid likes a book and wants to read a book, then let them. Particularly, I think, as boys more so than girls, because I remember back in school in English class when the teacher would say, "Oh, we're reading this book today," all the boys would be groaning. Not all of them, obviously, but majority of the boys would be groaning because they didn't want to read. And to me, when a child is interested in any kind of book, that's always a positive thing. And that was so sad. I really wanted to say something, but I can't, can I? It's not my place. But something along the lines of like that. So maybe he didn't realize that actually they are great books, and it doesn't have to be preschool and below that reads those types of things. Picture books. My daughter still loves picture books now, and she's 8. There's no age limit on books. I still like picture books. I'm a grown woman. So I just don't. I don't know. Would you have said something? Let me know in the comments. And what would you have said? How would you have phrased it? I thought something along the lines of, "Oh, my 8-year-old loves those books. What a great choice," to the kid, not to the dad, obviously. But I don't know. It just made me feel so sad. Any child that picks up a book and is interested in it, as far as I'm concerned, it's woohoo. It's something to be celebrated, not something to be restricted to. "Oh, you can only read this if you're this age." Anyway, let me know, what would you have done? Would you have said anything? Just had your heart crushed in that moment like I was? I was just stood there. You just freeze and you think, "Oh, I really want to say something, but I can't because it's not my place." And I trotted off. I just felt really uncomfortable and that I should have said something, but I didn't know how or what to say. I just really wanted that little boy to know that it's okay to read any type of book. There's no age restrictions. You're never too old. But there we go. Chair. Here's a new chair. It's really comfortable. I'm really impressed with it. And then here's a little shelf. So I've just put these on here for now. I don't know if that's where they're going to stay, but that's what it looks like. It's really roomy. So I was thinking one of them can be games, and then the 2 will be books for things that we're doing for our morning basket. And, readers and read alouds that we're doing for that specific theme or unit. These 2 from the bookstore. She wanted the new David Wallace one, the monster something. Can't remember what it's called, but that's going to be for summer reading. So we got these instead. I've already bought it, for end of school gift. Okay, so we're back now. We had a great time at Cozy Golf and also at the bookstore. So I've just showed you already the books that we got. She wanted, I can't remember what it was called, Monster something. It's a new David Wallace book anyway, but I've put that aside for end of summer gifts. So what she's getting for her end of summer gifts, she's getting that book. I'm also looking at maybe getting a new paddling pool. You know, the ones that you just inflate at home, not the gigantic big ones, but the fun ones. I saw a dinosaur one, so I might get that because we've had our other one for quite a long time. And I'm doing a little, on the last day of school, doing a little Hawaii thing, a Hawaii theme. So got our beach ball, we'll do school on beach towels, and she has got a lei, you know, so I think that will be fun. We'll do some pineapple, you know, drinks and things, and just make it really fun. So that's the last day of school, but that's not for a while yet. We still got, so we still got 5 weeks, I believe, left. Yes, 5 weeks left, and then we'll be done. So that's what we're doing for gifts for the end of school. So it's little bits and a little Hawaii themed end of school celebration. We'll do ice cream, you know, just fun stuff like that. And then I have been working on science, so I've been looking at how I want to organise it. I mentioned in the previous clip whether to do it by subject, so not subject but type of science, so biology, chemistry, or whether to do it, I've thought about doing it by season, which would make sense because it's season 1 to season 4. So what I'm going to do is right now is go through all the seasons and see how many of each are in there. So how many biology lessons, how many physics, chemistry. But I possibly might organise it by season, but I'll definitely update in my next one what I decide to do. So I'm just about to do that, just go through. I'm just going to write them all down and count how many there are for each specific area of science. And then I'm still working on my calendar. I started it but I haven't quite finished it yet. So my calendar for my planner, which you saw already in the previous clip, is that cat notebook, which will be fun. I'm just gonna make some lunch now, and we've had lots of fun. So I will speak to you. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna end this video now because I have a feeling this video is really long. I never know, when you take multiple clips over multiple days, you never know until you start editing it how long it actually is, and sometimes I end up having to leave bits out because I've made it too long. So I think I'm going to call it a day here. I hope it was interesting to see what we did this week, what I did this week I should say, for homeschool prep, and a few little clips of what we did this week as well, so our field trip at the zoo and everything else. And I'll see you in our next video. Take care, bye for now.